Well, it's another episode of Ask the Knight, and as you can guess, it's another Durant special, but it's all good, because the guy gives me content to work with, and it allows me to answer questions, which in turn gives you the inspiration to ask me questions, and we're all chill with that. Here's first question. If you had to choose between Goliath and Carr to fight against Michael Kidd, who would you choose? If I had to choose between Goliath and... Good question. If I have to send Goliath to face Kidd, it's kind of... larger guy has to take on the little guy, and it's just very one-sided, but at least when it's Kidd versus Carr, it's equal footing, because both of them have very similar capabilities, and it's having to actually outsmart each other. Now, you know, Garth and Goliath have always made for, decent, entertaining stories on Knight Rider against Michael and Kidd, but Carr actually had a brain in that vehicle. Carr was very sinister. Goliath may have been deadly with the molecular bonded shell, but Garth was the one driving it. The fact that Carr had a life, a soul, and a brain driving that car, that made Carr much more deadly and much more sinister, and that made for more compelling television. Opinion only. And we move on to the next question. Question 2. If you had to choose between a character between Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, who would you be? Good question. I did like the way Harrison Ford portrayed Han, with this very sort of Han Solo in some regard, and this is just my perception. I'm not a bona fide Star Wars fan, so I'm only just recanting my memories of seeing the Star Wars movies. Han Solo, to a degree, was like the working stiff. Been there, done that, seen and done that all before. He'd seen all that shtick, but he's got this very kind of lovable rogue, persona about him. Whereas I like the fact that Luke is very innocent. He tries to see the good in everyone, including Darth Vader, who still somehow sees his father behind the helmet and the iron lung and the dark side of the Force. I kind of relate to that because I've got a very similar naivete. I try to see the good in everybody, and sometimes I see good in people even when they don't see it, and lightsaber fights. Need I say more? And question 3. How many musical concerts have you attended, if any, or which ones were they? Haven't attended any notable ones. I did attend a Radio 1 roadshow. I suppose you could call it a concert to a degree, in the summer of '98 when, I don't even remember half the acts that were playing. If I had to go look it up online who was playing at the time, I'd probably be able to tell you. But it was a fun day. It was a free gig to get onto on the beach and whatnot, and it was a way to kill time for a little while, and for a kid at the time who was 17 years old, where you could appreciate a free live event and it was good music, then it was fine. That was cool. Well, another episode and another 3 questions have been done. You know how this works by now. Either send a question to the comment section below, one to the social media link in the outro, or to the Dynamic Knight page at dynamicnight.com. dynamicnight.weebly.com, and ask me 3 questions. Until then, good night from the Knight.